Hello, this is Beth Sullivan Woods, Board of Selectmen, Precinct D. And in this presentation, I will be providing an overview of Article 9, the Department Revolving Funds. To start us off, I'd like to read you the motion so that it's clear what this particular article is requesting. That the town vote pursuant to Section 53E and a half of Chapter 44 of Mass General Laws to set the limit on the total amount that may be spent from each revolving fund for fiscal year 2021 as follows. A. Street Opening Maintenance Fund, $225,000. B. The DPW Field Use Fund, $200,000. C. The Turf Field Fund, $150,000. D. The Field Bank Fund, $75,000. E. The Baler Compactor and Other RDF Equipment Repair Fund, $50,000. Council on Aging Social and Cultural Programs Fund, item F, $140,000. G. The Teen Center Program Revenues Fund, $50,000. H. Library Room Rental Fund, $35,000. I. The Lost Damaged Library Materials Replacement Fund, $20,000. J. The Brookside Community Gardens Fund, $3,000. K. Weston Road Gardens Fund, $7,000. L. The Library Copier Fees Fund, $20,000, and M, the Cultural Council Revenues Fund, $6,500. By way of background, the revolving funds fall under Article 55 in the town bylaws, which define the departmental revolving funds in compliance with Mass General Law. And as you will recall, these revolving funds were updated a couple years ago to bring them into compliance with the Municipal Modernization Act. Each of the revolving funds is set up and designated to a specific department and is defined in terms of the specific program and service revenues which are allowed to be placed into that dedicated account, and the specific sources and uses of each account are also defined within the bylaw. It is important to understand that the revolving funds are non-tax impact. They are used to collect and disperse revenues that are derived from operations of the department and then are expended to support those operations. Spending is not permitted to exceed the balance in the fund, and it is also not permitted to exceed the annual spending limit set by town meeting. This article seeks to update Article 55 by setting the new FY21 spending limits for all 13 revolving funds. And they are 5 revolving funds which fall under the Department of Public Works. As you can see, they are the Street Opening Maintenance Fund for $225,000, the DPW Field Use Fund for $200,000, the Turf Field Fund for $150,000, the Tree Bank Fund, $75,000, and the Baler Compactor and Other RDF Equipment Repair Fund for $50,000. For each of these accounts, the requested spending authorization for this year is the same as it was last year, with the exception of the Turf Field Fund, which, if you recall, last year the authorization was set at $500,000 to address the turf field replacement that was occurring. And so this year, that amount of the authorization has been reduced. There are 2 revolving accounts which fall under the Natural Resources Commission. They are the Brookside Community Gardens Fund for $3,000 and the Weston Road Gardens Fund with authorization requested at $7,000. Both of these authorization limits are identical to last year. There are 3 revolving accounts under the Wellesley Free Library with authorization limits requested that are identical to last year. The Library Room Rental Fund, $35,000. The Library Lost Damaged Materials Replacement Fund, $20,000, and the Library Copier Print Fees Fund, $20,000. There is 1 revolving account which falls under the Council on Aging for social and cultural programs. The fund authorization of $140,000 is the same as it was last year. There is 1 revolving account which falls under recreation for the Teen Center Program Revenues Fund. The $50,000 authorization request is identical to last year. And the Cultural Council Revenues Fund, which falls under the Cultural Council, is the fund, if you recall, we established at last year's annual town meeting. And the requested authorization is $6,500, which is identical to the authorization that was requested last year in terms of a limit when it was established. The Board of Selectmen requests your favorable action on this motion. Thank you.